Michael, the last thing I said to him. And, I know that Michael was broken, and I know that he had a lot of problems, as we all do. And we all have our own adversities in life. We have our own pains and sorrows, and we deal with them differently. And, I know that coming out of the chute that he didn't have a great start. My sister has a lot of problems, and so did his dad. And there's probably a lot of anger issues and other issues that he had. And I don't know what all of Mike believed, what he did or didn't believe, and I understood that he had no faith in God or things like that. But, regardless if he believed it or not, my personal faith and my belief is that life continues after death, and that life is eternal regardless if you believe it or not. And so I wanted that opportunity to share that with Mike, and I had no idea if he could hear me or not. So I did a few medical tests on him just to see if there's a chance, just a small chance he may have heard something. And for quite some time I held his hand, and I'd make sure they weren't just involuntary movements and things like that, and I held his feet, things like that, and I would scream and say, or just yell loudly into his ear, Michael, Michael, if you can hear me, move your hands. And, I really believe, and I was really trying to analyze myself, make sure I wasn't hoping that he would hear me, or that I thought he would hear me. I really believe he did hear me, and I'm going to believe that, because I felt his hands jerk a couple times, not as I was holding them, but as I held them for quite some time. And after I said, Michael, can you hear me? If you can hear me, shake your hand. And he did. I felt it. Same with his feet. I held both of his feet, and there was no movement. And then I said, Michael, if you can hear me, because you're Uncle Danny, let me know. Move your feet. And I believe that he did move his feet also. There was still brain waves. The medical evidence showed that. He was, so he was breathing. His heart was beating. So I'm going to believe that he heard me. And what I told Michael was this. I said, Michael, life is eternal, whether you believe it or not. And that goes for all of us. And I said, all I'm asking you to do is to, even though you may not believe it, is to even tell God this, that I don't believe you. I don't believe in you. But if you exist, I ask that you forgive me for my sins, for things I may have done wrong to other people. We've all made mistakes. We've all screwed up. We've all done things against each other that we regret. And I just said, just ask him. Ask for mercy. And I believe that Michael heard me, and I just hope to God that's what he did. And if he did, God is a merciful God, and I believe that Michael's in a better place. The pain, the suffering, it all stopped. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to believe that he did hurt me. And I'm hoping he did. And, it's kind of funny that there was such a big hoopla about December 21st being the end of the world, and everybody was joking about it. It's been going on for the past couple of years, the hysteria about the end of the world. And I was thinking about that. For Michael, it was the end of the world. For each of us, when our heart stops, it's the end of the world. So I guess what I'm going to leave you with today is this. This is a time for self-reflection. We can all look in ourselves and find error. Believe me, I'm the chief of sinners. There's plenty of things. I have a bad temper, and I lose my temper with my wife. I lose my temper with her children. And there's lots of things that I wish I could change, and sometimes I do, and I fail miserably. And I think we all have those areas in our lives. And so my challenge to you today is reflect. Think about the things in your lives that you have that you'd like to change, and work on those things, and honor Michael. If you're skeptical about God, or you're skeptical about Christ, pick up the Bible, read it. There's some good stuff in there. It's not horrible. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not rape. Thou shalt not murder. Those aren't bad things. To love your neighbor as yourself. Those aren't bad things for us to live in our lives. So I just challenge you guys to not let this be such a tragedy. Let your life continue, not only in this life but the eternal. And think about with the chance that Michael could have heard me, and he did those things. And that God's a merciful God for all of us. So, like I said, I've got my screw-ups, I've got my mistakes. There's plenty, and we could all throw darts at me, I'm sure. But that's what I want to leave you with, is just don't let his life just be a tragedy, that's it. Use his life to better your own, and you know, reflect on your own lives and make changes that you want to change. And there's things that you hate about yourself. Hey, here's a chance to, in honor of Michael, to apply those things to your lives. That's all I can think of to tell you guys. And you know, and it is what it is. It's not a pretty story. You know, it just happened. You know, and I could just see Michael's talent was amazing, and I was just amazed by what he could do. And I was really trying to get him to do some other stuff, some portraits and things like that, and trying to encourage him a little bit to do something with his talent. And it is what it is. And so it's a sad situation, and his life was cut way too short. And I'm happy that nobody else was injured, and that you know, that he didn't suffer for months and months and months. So we just have to look at it from that perspective. And like I said, it's time for us to live our own lives and do that self-reflection and think about things that we want to change in our lives and do them and honor Michael and do that. So that's all I have to say. And if there's anything else anybody else wants to say, you know, positively, they can think of about Michael, a funny story, whatever, you're welcome to do it. So as I said, I'm shooting from the hip here. So is there anything else anybody else wants to say, or any stories? All right, well, I guess that's it. So it is what it is, you know. So let's just try and live our lives better. So